Hello, everyone, and happy Monday morning to all of you. For most of us, especially entrepreneurs, it is the start of our work week. So we hope that you relaxed, renewed, rejuvenated yesterday with family or friends or by yourself or binge Netflix, whatever it is that you do on a Sunday, or go to church and obviously worship Jesus. If that is what you do on a Sunday, we hope that you are back today feeling just jazzed about the week. And today we have another member with us for the Member Monday Spotlight here in the Leap community, and that is Beth Ann. And she calls herself the Nomadic Cowgirl. Girl, tell me, what is that all about?
So, Nomadic Cowgirl fully embodies who I am. When I came up with my business and developed my business, I was actually in the process of going across the country in a travel trailer with my daughter. So, I was born and raised in Western New York, and I think I was on a horse before I could actually walk. So, natural born cowgirl, and I've
Mhm.
continued to use horses throughout my whole entire life with some of my different adventures. So, a nomadic cowgirl just fit.
I love that. Yeah. And nomadic, with traveling as an entrepreneur, in your services that you provide, are you teaching entrepreneurs how to be able to work from anywhere? Is that part of how you're teaching the entrepreneurs?
If it's applicable,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know you recently was part of a book for the Entrepreneurs Toolkit, and this is a big deal because even way back in corporate America, and for all of my LinkedIn friends out there that are watching this, back in corporate America, in the business I was in, I worked with entrepreneurs and launching businesses,
Mm.
and so we talked a lot about toolkits and toolboxes, and it's just kind of this visual that you can see.
Yeah.
And when you have a toolbox at your house, you have an array of tools that are needed to repair, let's say, your home, or things in your home, or things that exist around your home. Let's think of that vision as an entrepreneur's toolkit. This toolkit is not only used for you to repair things in your business, but they're tools that are also used for you to achieve greater success in business. And I know you work with a lot of entrepreneurs. Why this book? Tell me, why were you so drawn to this book, Beth Ann?
Because I love to use those tools to build a solid foundation. I'm referring to myself as a visionary framework specialist. And
Mm,
I love to help people. I started my business just doing websites, and people would come to me and want a website. And a lot of people can build websites, but I ended up receiving a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, and they didn't know what they didn't know.
yeah,
And they were gung ho and they wanted to just do everything, do all the things, and they needed help. And it was so hard to just sit by and watch them and not
yeah,
help them. So I did a quick pivot in my business, and I started helping them really lay a solid foundation, starting to automate structures so that they
yeah.
can spend more time on their passion and the reason they were starting the business. And I ended up developing giving away a lot of tools. And I mean, this where we there we go.
There.
This book
I
is
love it.
amazing. It is full of a
Yeah.
bunch of different authors, and we all share our toolkit for success.
Now you can find this book at allthingsbeth.com/toolkits summit. Now, in this summit, they're going to be able to experience some of the other authors and some of the tools. Is that correct in this summit?
So the summit happened, but the toolkit summit up here actually takes you to the freebie that I gave away during the summit.
Perfect.
And that is where I reveal my secrets of my top tools that I use to help keep myself organized.
Perfect.
So
So
it,
allthingsbeth.com/toolkit summit, which we have in the comments for you as well. And you can click on that. That's going to give that framework for them. Talk to us about kind of your top tools. What are some top tools for entrepreneurs today to be able to walk away with, of maybe the top tools they need to have in that toolkit to apply to their business?
my favorite app is GoodNotes. I paid less
Okay.
than $10 for it. And it's $10 for a lifetime. And I u- I was that entrepreneur that was carrying around like 10 different spiral notebooks because I have to write everything down. My memory's not the greatest. I always have my hand in too many pots. Um, so I got really sick of carrying a ton of spiral notebooks. So GoodNotes allows you to actually create folders, create notebooks, create to-do lists all on, I have it on my MacBook, my iPad,
Yeah.
and my iPhone, and they all
Mhm.
update. So I am very organized anywhere I go, and all I have is a cute little iPad with me.
That's great. So, they're not sponsoring our show today, but GoodNotes app is a great tool that she's saying to have in your toolkit. And what that's going to do is provide you with this organization, so you have everything organized in one place, and you're not. I have several women that have showed me stacks of paper and all of these binders everywhere and notebooks. And, I have a system I use as a tool for your toolkit. A lot of the way I've always done this with my clients is 20 years ago, if I was typing when my client was speaking and I was talking to them over the phone, they would hear me typing and they would say, "Oh, wow, you're a fast typer." And immediately I thought to myself, I think that it's possible my client thinks that I'm not listening to them because I'm typing, right?
Mm.
You can't do two things at once. So I started going back to the early, writing method. And so I have a folder that has, yellow pads in it, and all my clients' information and intake forms and all of that. And I write, and then I scan my notes, and I keep them all in one folder electronically for my client that they have access to. But I have found that writing actually helps me, but I keep everything in one folder. And I've even, I have a box filed of previous clients that I've worked with, and I keep that information because I have clients that'll come back, and then I'll go grab their folder and bring it back. And that's kind of this memory again, of
Yes.
everything, and then go back into their electronic folder, make it active again. So again, these are just little tips for everyone that may work with clients as Beth Ann and I do. And how do you keep those, organized? What is another tip that you would give to us?
Ooh, so I love Zoom. And everybody uses Zoom, everybody knows how to use Zoom, but I don't use it in the typical way, and I thought I was, but I go into Zoom and I record myself there.
Mm,
So rather than doing it like on a computer or like on a phone or whatever, I just record right on Zoom and then I can download it and edit it.
yeah.
I also use it to blow dry my hair every morning and put my makeup on. So, I mean, you know, you don't need to
Nice.
carry an extra mirror with you in your office. I have to blow dry my hair away from the bedroom. I don't know if anyone else has that struggle. But yeah, so Zoom is wonderful.
Okay. And that's for recording videos. So that's a quick way. I do too use Zoom, and I love that tip. I do. I love that tip because my team will ask me a lot, "Hey, can you just record a quick video about that program that you're doing, so we can use it on social media, so we can use it on the sales page?" Let's
You
talk
can
about
share
why
your
videos
screen.
are important, right? You did websites for a long time, right, Beth Ann?
Mhm.
So using Zoom to record videos, and again, that Zoom is not sponsoring our show, but I use Zoom for a lot of my events. It's a very easy. Everyone knows how to use it. I was using Zoom back, 6 years before it even became a thing, before COVID, and it wasn't cool back then. But the ease of Zoom. What are some of the ways that you use Zoom? Especially for those clients of yours that have websites and sales pages.
Mhm. It's great. I mean, when you're asking for money from a client, and you're working with clients across the country, they want to see you generally
Mhm.
before actually handing over some money and build that like established trust. So being able to show up in Zoom and show that you are a physical person and not just pre-recorded videos, it's always
Mhm.
great for like your first meeting. And I love that I'm able to share my screen and I can be like, okay, do you like this appearance better or do you like this appearance better? And we can have that live conversation and I can manipulate things on the screen for them to
Mhm.
make sure that they're ultimately happy with what I'm providing for them
Yeah.
rather than sending, 50 emails back and forth. We're handling it right then and there. And it's a much faster process and my
Yeah.
clients are way happier because they have their input right then and there.
You hit on something so important when we're talking about tools today for entrepreneurs, which is the video. And when you are, I actually recommend every single person that has a downloadable that it has some video to it. So if it's a page that you take them to where they fill in their information, get the download, have a video of you pop up, have that download, have you talk about the download. They can see your personality, your energy. Every single person has always said to me, there's every time I watch one of your videos, you're just so animated and you have so much energy, and I can tell the type of person you are by the way you speak and show up on video and present yourself. This tells the other person on the other end a lot. If they even want to read your download, if they even want to apply your download, if they even feel like you're credible for that,
Mhm.
right? So again, it shows the other individual who you are. I interviewed somebody one time, Beth, who has the kindest, sweetest voice and energy and presence. And she's a yoga instructor and a Pilates instructor. And her presence is undeniable on
Mhm.
how she makes others feel calm.
Yes.
You wouldn't have gotten that from some photos
Mm-mm.
and a download. You never could have gotten her presence. But when you hear her or watch her or listen to her, you immediately feel relaxed,
Yeah.
calm, centered, right? So
Yep.
those are the things we're talking about. That way people can really understand who you are, and videos are watched more than anything is read.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
super important. I love the videos. That's a really great tip. And you, of course, you can find everything we're talking about today at allthingsbeth.com.
Mhm.
And she wants you to go follow her on Instagram. Why do you want them to follow you on Instagram? Do you utilize Instagram a lot? Is that another tool that you think that we should all have in our toolboxes?
I think we should have the social platform that we actually have some passion about. You shouldn't just go do them
Love it.
all because your audience isn't necessarily in all the platforms.
Right.
So whichever one you like vibrates most with you, that's where
Yeah.
you should be. And I would not recommend any more than 3
Yeah,
because
and put your effort into that. You
yes.
know, I have daughters that only put their effort into Instagram. They do not, you won't find them on LinkedIn at all because their audience isn't in LinkedIn. Their audience is on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so that's where they stay.
Mhm.
So there's two different ways. Here's another toolkit opportunity to put in your toolkit, everybody. There are two different ways to network. Honestly, you are either you too many and you're using social media platforms to get your message out through video, through posts, through carousels, through lives, through reels, right?
Mhm.
Or you are networking and meeting people one by one by one by one. And you're going into rooms electronically and in person where you're meeting individuals. So you have to decide what is the best platform that works for me. I do some social media because I love to keep my name out there. I love to just share my life. If I'm hiking or doing something fun with my grandkids or, whatever it is, I love to just put videos out to have fun with that. I'm not really selling to anyone. Maybe I'm drawing them into what my life looks like. And maybe that would attract somebody to say, "Ooh, I want to be able to build a business and have that much fun and
Mhm.
still go do all those fun things and make money, and have a great life." Maybe someone else is just interested in what life is like when I have 12 grandkids. Who knows? But when I network, I'm not sharing a lot about my 12 grandkids and soccer games and T-ball, right? When
Right.
I'm networking one to one and I'm having this conversation with you in a room, Beth Ann, and I'm like, I want to get to know you. Like, what is your stick? What do you teach? How do you serve people? And then I'm always determining, do I need this in my life? That's what I'm determining in that moment. Is this a tool I could use? Is this someone I want to work with? And then also I'm thinking, do I have a good connection for her? Do I have an opportunity of someone I think she needs to connect with because I want to serve you in that moment as well? So that one-to-one networking could be, which is how I built my entire community, and my entire success was through networking. And that
Yes.
works for some people. So I say pick a lane and
Yeah.
really crush it hard in that lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And you have to decide. My daughters never network. There is no networking they do. They literally do videos, and they promote other businesses in the East Valley in Arizona. That's all they do. And I have real estate agents in my family, and they do social media for, marketing, and they're not out there networking. They're really not. It's just word of mouth. One person tells the next person, but they're not out there networking. So again, decide if you're someone who wants to put little time into networking, then you better have a fierce social media campaign.
Yes.
You have to. Yeah, and on Instagram, you can follow Beth,
Mhm.
at Nomadic Cowgirl, and that's 2 C's, Nomadic Cowgirl, at Instagram, so go follow her there. What else do you want us to know as we're wrapping up today, Beth Ann?
Ooh, my big one. Always take time for yourself. Do
Mm,
not neglect that self-care. I harp on this on everyone because I was that person. I wanted to do all the things and I burnt myself out, and that is no way to live. You have to set aside your date night, your fun game night with your kids, and your self-care night, and that has to be the top priority on your schedule, because if you're running at half mass, you're not giving the best to your clients either.
yeah. Yeah,
Self-care first.
I totally agree with you, and that's why I, was saying, to you in the beginning, you've just got to unplug. You've got to have a day, and Sunday's our day for worship. Sunday's our day to not work. We have both have offices at my house. My husband and I. So it's a time not to walk into our offices, not to plug into our computers, and really just have time with each other, make some good food, have that downtime to worship and, do what it is. So again, Beth, allthingsbeth.com. Beth Ann Kaib is here with us today, talking all about the Entrepreneur's Toolkit. So she's a visionary framework specialist. Allthingsbeth.com/toolkit summit is where you're going to be able to get this book that she showed earlier. Go ahead and show the book again. You'll be able to see her tips on the toolkit and everything about this book that's going to allow you. And there's several other women in there giving advice as well in this book about what you need to add to your toolkit as an entrepreneur. And remember, you are fixing things in your business. You do need tools that are going to get you ahead. And it should never be hard work. It should never be hard work. If it's hard, I always say, you're going down the wrong path. If it's hard, it shouldn't be that hard. So just remember that as you're moving forward. And Beth, we're so thankful to have you in our community. You're so smart. You bring so much to the table, so much value to the other members. And I know that they also bring value to you. So thank you so much for being part of the community. And to all of you, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing 15 minutes of your Monday morning with us, to bring another member forward so they can provide you with tips on ways that it can help you increase your level of visibility, to be seen and be heard, and for you to become even more successful in your business. Until next time, to all of you, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.